Happy National Dogs Day, Zeffy. Zeffy. Oi. Hello. Happy National Dogs Day. Kia ora. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling Winning Wednesday. Yes, we're on to Winning Wednesday today. And yes, I'm all glammed up because I had my media makeover class this morning. So we always have to be camera ready, which is the goopy stuff on the face, the hair done, the sparkly top on. So yeah, so how's your Winning Wednesday going? Mine is off to a super fantastic, sparkling start. If you haven't already, and if you don't already know this, it's National Dog Day today, August 26th. So give those pooches extra treats today, extra love. Mind you, that's not hard to do. Not when you've got somebody as cute as Zeffy, even if she is hiding in her crate for now. And also it is also National Cherry Popsicle Day today too. So for those of you in hot climates, if you're going to be eating cherry popsicles, make sure you're somewhere cold to eat them, because if it's anything like the heat that's going on in Phoenix and Vegas right now, where it's in triple digits, those popsicles will not stay popsicles for much longer. But anyway, Winning Wednesday. So what have we got in store for you guys today? Well, let's see. I got to get over here to my notes. So the mindset is all about passion. And you're going, passion and winning. Well, I came across a great quote by G.W.F. Hegel. Hegel said, "Nothing in the world has been accomplished without passion." So if you want to win at creating something awesome, then you need to have passion in order to do it. And when you have passion, nothing else matters. It doesn't seem like work. It's like me with genealogy. You lose track of time. You're right there in the moment, in the now. And when you've got that passion, great things happen. You're more likely to make things happen as well with what you're doing and everything else. On the business side of things, it is all about celebration. Yes, we're all about celebrating your wins. What are your wins for this week? My wins this week is that I am this close to exceeding last month's numbers. So how close are you to succeeding your numbers? And I know that I'm going to get those numbers done in the next 5 days left in the month. Yeah, we're going to beat those numbers. So we're going to have an increase this month, which is awesome. In fact, I already have one increase, which is even better. And then the fun today is all about getting dressed up. Put a costume on. Be a superhero if you want to be. You know, who is one of your favorite people in history that you... Oh, I like that one even better. Yeah, who is somebody that you look up to? What historical figure do you look up to? I remember when I was growing up, we had to give a lot of talks. We had to do a lot of speeches in school, even in primary school or elementary school. We'd do a lot of speeches and stuff. And my speech was either on Guy Fawkes or it was on Florence Nightingale. And Guy Fawkes is a guy who back in the 1700s, late 1600s, him and some guys got together and they developed the gunpowder plot. And their idea was to blow up Parliament because they were Catholic and the reigning king or queen at the time was Protestant. Or was it the other way around? Might have been the other way around. It's been a while since I've looked at the Guy Fawkes stuff. I mean, we're talking back when I was like 9 or 10 that I used to talk about this stuff. But anyway, so there was opposition on the religion. And so him and his friends decided they were going to blow up Parliament on the day that Parliament opened, which was November the 5th. And what they did is that they smuggled all these barrels of gunpowder into the basement underneath Parliament with the intent of blowing it up on November the 5th. And somebody in the gang had somebody who was a member of Parliament, so told them don't show up, but didn't tell them why. They got suspicious, they reported it, they ended up doing a search of the catacombs beneath the Parliament and discovered this guy called Guy Fawkes along with these barrels of gunpowder. So him and his compatriots were then later hanged in the early 1700s for treason. And so November the 5th, every November the 5th since then, they do this patrol of the catacombs before the opening of Parliament in England. So all this took place in England. So he was a very interesting character, standing up for what he believed in. He didn't believe in the religion that they were trying to force on them. And I can't remember, and one side was Catholic, the other side was Protestant. I just can't remember which way around it was. And he didn't want, and so their friends didn't want, they believed in their religion and didn't want anybody else's religion forced upon them. So they decided to take into their own hands to get rid of the reigning monarch, so that they could then get somebody else brought in who was more open to their more open to their way of seeing it on the religious views. And then my other one that I always spoke about was Florence Nightingale. Now, my mum was a nurse. I always had a passion for nursing. It's probably where my nurturing nature comes from, until I had a dentist who made me afraid of needles when I was 16, and they weren't my nursing career. But I'd always planned following my mother's footsteps and becoming a nurse. I loved everything I learned about first aid and nursing and all of that sort of stuff. But one of my people that I always used to look up to was Florence Nightingale. And she was born in, I guess if I can get this right, like 1820, I think it was. Yeah, 1820, because she passed in 1910. And she was 90, so around 1820, 1819. But she was the woman who brought a lot, she was a nurse, and she brought a lot of organization, that a lot of the stuff that they do as nurses today are because of her. So she was kind of like one of those pioneer nurses. And during the Crimea War, she would start separating people by injuries and by illness within their hospital rooms that they had, the rooms that they had for the hospital, or whatever area they had. She would start separating those that were sick from those that were injured, because she started noticing that those that were injured were starting to get sick because they were laying next to somebody who was sick. So she started doing that separation of these people over here are injured, these people over here are sick. And then she started making the doctors, because at that time they didn't do it, but she started making them wash their hands between each patient. They never used to do that. So she started that trend of washing the hands, even just in cold water without soap, was enough to stop spreading disease from one patient to another. So she's discovered that by washing their hands, even if it was just with cold water, it was enough to stop that spread of disease amongst the hospital, amongst her wards and all of that. But they also called her the lady with the lamp, because she was one of those nurses that would go walking through the wards at night with her candle or her lamp, checking on all the patients and everything, making sure they were comfortable. So a lot of the practices we have in nursing today for basic care started with Florence Nightingale. She was an incredible woman. So today, go look at go find somebody in history who you admire for what they did, for what actions that they took. What were they pioneers of? You got Henry Ford, who brought us the Ford Model T, and look at the empire he built. You've got Andrew Carnegie with the Steel Corporation. You got Charles Schwab with finances. There's a lot of great people around. Then you go back through times in history. The number of people that were, Anne Frank is another one. There's a great book. It's called, what is it? The Traveler's Gift by Andy Anderson. And it's about this guy who's down on his luck. He's about to lose everything. His wife, his kids, his home, his work, everything. And he's down on his luck, and he gets taken on this journey through time. And he meets people like George Washington Grover. He meets Abraham Lincoln. He meets Anne Frank. I'm trying to remember who else he meets. There's like 10 different people he meets at different points in history, and each person gives him a personalized letter that teaches him life lessons. And I love Andy Anderson's books because they tell stories in he teaches you through parables or through story. And I love learning through stories. But each traveler, each person he meets, they give him a gift of a letter that has a life lesson in it. And he takes those and comes back and uses it to help turn his life around. But I always remember one of the things that he ends up talking with the archangel, it's either Gabriel or Michael, one of the archangels, and he's walking through this room. You cannot see. They go through this door, and then the wall kind of disappears, and this room is full of stuff. You cannot see the top of the piles. You cannot see the far walls at either end, the sides, anywhere. It's just this massive room. And he's walking through this room, and he's like looking at all this stuff. And there is stuff, and I mean stuff. There's cars, there's houses, there's photographs, there's just anything you can possibly imagine is in this room. And he stops by this pile, and he looks down this pile, and there's a photograph of him and his wife, their daughter, and other children in this photograph. And he's like, but I don't have any other children. And he asks the archangel what this is all about, and he goes, oh, this is the room of missed opportunities. And he looks down at this photo of him with his wife and children, and there's more children in that photograph than what he has at home. So they had missed the opportunity to have more children, and they can't go back and get that. So that was a very interesting book and a great way of looking at things, at life. It's sort of like, man, what have I got? What opportunities have I missed along the way that are now in this room of missed opportunities? And I'm just like, wow. So go out there today, win, grab some opportunities. Don't let opportunities pass you by. Just grab them. Just say yes, and then, as Richard Branson says, say yes and then figure it out. Because when you say yes, your brain kicks in and goes, oh, okay, we're going to do this? Excellent. Right, this is what we need to do. And the subconscious will kick into gear and make things happen. And it starts putting that energy out there that you are committed to this opportunity and you are going to do it. And so things will start, and so the subconscious starts working and starts putting out these vibes that this opportunity is coming. So you're going to end up working on that opportunity and grabbing it don't let opportunity. Basically, the moral of the story is don't let opportunities pass you by. Grab them and all that. So I have no idea how I got onto that topic. But anyway, so for Winning Wednesday, win by going and grabbing some opportunities. Your mindset is all about passion, having the passion for what it is that you are doing. If you don't have the passion for it, where does your passion lie? Because when you have your passion, you start winning a lot. If you start going after opportunities with passion, then you will end up winning. In business, it's all about celebration. Where are you for the month? Are you ahead of last month's numbers? If not, what do you need to do to get ahead of last month's numbers? And then for fun, go dress up, go put on a costume today, become somebody from the past, learn about them. Like I said, Guy Fawkes and Florence Nightingale were two people I used to talk about a lot when we had to do speeches in school. And we were doing speeches in elementary school too. And they were like 5 to 10 minute speeches that we had to do. So, and we always had to do historical figures. So go find somebody in history who you admire, become them for the day. Go learn something new about a historical figure today. Dress up in a costume that resembles them or something. Not so much of an action hero or a superhero, but look at real people in history. We've got, there's so many amazing people in history that were pioneers in their fields. Pick a field, go find out who the pioneer. If you have a passion for an industry, like for nursing or firefighting or police work or whatever it is, I don't know. The brain's just going blah at the moment. Go find out who some of the pioneers in that industry were. Who were some of the pioneer firefighters? What did they come up with? What did they invent? What practices did they bring into place? For nursing, you got people like Florence Nightingale. And a lot of practices that are done today were because of her in the basic nursing care. So go look for those people in history, find out what it was that they did, and learn more about them today. And have discussions with friends about them. So in the comments below, I want you to put down who are some of the historical figures that you admired, and what were some of the things that they pioneered that we still haven't practiced today, or because of what they did, it's had an impact, how it impacted the world. Okay, that's your challenge for today. Let us know who you admire, what historical figures do you admire, and why, and what mark did they leave on the world with? What did they pioneer? What did they invent? That sort of stuff. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to go deglam because it's getting too hot in here. So I'm going to go put something cooler on. Although the dog's curled up in her crate. Can't be great airflow in there, but she's happy. And if she's happy, I'm happy. And if you want to check out, remember it's National Dog Day, so happy National Dog Day to all the dogs out there. And if you want to check out Zeffie having fun this morning, go to Zeffie's Great Adventures, and there's a video there from her at the dog park here at the campground this morning. They actually have two right side by side. And she decided to put on a show today for you guys. So go check that out and see what fun she had at the dog park. And I don't remember how many times I said bye on that thing, and then Zeffie would start doing something, and so I just follow with the video camera. But anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling, winning Wednesday, and we will catch you guys later this evening. He konera.